disclosed. However, both men died from non-hostile causes. Well, it's in times like these, when you're living in a foreign country and your family is split apart by the war, that you come to know who your friends are. Across Germany, people are asking how they can help. In Wiesbaden, Germans and Americans get together at town meetings to talk about their needs. Roger Williams has more.
Most of the 12th Aviation Brigade from Wiesbaden, Germany, has been on duty in Saudi Arabia since August, leaving behind between 800 and 900 family members. The town hall meetings give them a chance to hear about security, hospital treatment, and casualty affairs. Representatives from the Hessen-Polizei, Wiesbaden Mayor's Office, and the German Ministry for Family Affairs offered their friendship and support.
It was very deep to hear the problems now, and I think it's necessary that the German families also assist the American families, the spouses, the mothers, and the children. And we have groups here, and I think they have to do their work now.
Family members appreciate these town hall meetings, and over the past few months have seen the community come together.
People have a real sense of being a part of the family now, and are much more concerned about their neighbors and much more conscious of who's around them, and putting out for friends and neighbors.
German officials note they've had their differences with the American community in the past in Wiesbaden, considering the location of the air base to the city, but the majority supports the American action in the Gulf. From Wiesbaden Air Base, Germany, I'm Roger Williams, AFN News.
President Bush made a visit to 3 stateside military installations to meet with families of deployed soldiers. One of the bases on his agenda was Fort Stewart, Georgia, where he received a warm and uplifting welcome. We get more in this report.
Bush talked with a small group of Army wives at Fort Stewart's Family Assistance Center. He said he understands how hard a separation is, but assured them it was necessary.
It's the way I look at it, it's a fundamental question. It isn't any gray on this one. It is good versus evil. And we are doing the right thing. And the thing that has been so uplifting for me today is that I find that the spouses, those whose families are torn apart by all of this, seem to understand that as clearly as anybody.
The president said he heard on radio that his trip was to boost the morale of families, but he found instead he's the one who got the boost.
But it is wonderfully rewarding to know that these men and women overseas are getting this kind of support at home.
And that support sends a clear message to Saddam Hussein. Sergeant Ed Josie, Fort Stewart, Georgia.
A Hanau High School student has received a letter from President Bush. The letter came in response to the student's concern about his brother's deployment to the Gulf. TV5's Kathy Ferris reports.
How did you feel when you heard that your brother was going to Saudi Arabia?
Man, Matthew was upset at the developments in the Middle East, and his brother was being deployed. He was not very happy, and he knew that there'd be a grave danger of the troops that were being sent there. So Matthew wanted the president to know how concerned he was.
Matthew and his classmates were pleasantly surprised to find that President Bush took time to respond.
The president, in his letter, expressed his concern for the families here, and we were very excited to get a letter from the president. We felt very honored.
President Bush stressed in his letter that great sacrifices for the cause of freedom and justice are being made by men and women deployed to the Gulf region. And that goes for family members back home. Reporting from Hanau, this is Kathy Ferris, TV5 for AFN News.
Every year, the Department of the Army awards its top young leaders. Each major Army command chooses one company grade officer as its Leader of the Year. Sergeant Rob Hurd reports on the U.S. Army Europe's choice.
The United States Army Europe started their selection process to choose the top company grade officer in the command 6 months ago. Recently, they chose the top winner at an awards presentation and dinner at the Patrick Henry Village Officers Club in Heidelberg. There were 14 finalists. 3 of them were not present due to their deployment to Operation Desert Storm, but were represented by their spouses. USAREUR Commander-in-Chief General Crosby Saint attended the dinner to present the runner-ups with Army Achievement Medals and the top winner with the Meritorious Service Medal. The winner, Captain Paul Gilley, commander of Headquarters and Headquarters Battery, 5th Corps Artillery, says if it weren't for his soldiers, he would not have won the award.
that I am providing the guidance and the leadership that's necessary for my unit, for my soldiers, to do well and to become successful and to be winners. And what this means to me is that I've been recognized for their outstanding performance.
Captain Gilley now has the opportunity to go to Norfolk, Virginia in June, where the General Douglas MacArthur Memorial is located, to accept his award as USAREUR's top company grade officer, which will be awarded by Mrs. Jean MacArthur, the widow of General Douglas MacArthur. In Heidelberg, Army Sergeant Rob Hurd, AFN News.
Time now for a look at the weather. Cold temperatures will persist for at least another day, but our weatherman promises a warming trend is on the way. Rob?
Well, Pam, that cool Arctic air that's gripped much of the country is expected to hang around for another 24 to 36 hours. After which, though, I do expect a very slow and gradual warming trend as we head towards the weekend. Even still, though, temperatures will only average somewhere in the 20s and lower 30s. Here's the pattern this afternoon as viewed from the satellite. You can continue to see an influx of cool, moist air into the region. Light snow showers fairly scattered in this cloud mass, although becoming a little more organized over towards the UK this afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the surface pattern. This is the situation out there. You can see snow showers fairly active along the alpine areas. A little break in the action right across the interior. Then again, those snows becoming more organized over the northern and western part of Europe today. Now, temperatures, these are certainly some of the coolest numbers we've seen in a while. Daytime highs were only averaging in the teens and 20s. Wind speeds were also up, so that did put a little bite in the air. In fact, once again, as far as Germany goes, anyhow, we calculated that wind chill index, and basically it's a measure of the cooling power of the atmosphere in terms of temperature and wind and its effect on the human body. So, for example, the temperature out in Nuremberg today was 14 degrees. That was at 3 p.m. They had about a 10-knot wind, and that brought their wind chill index down to minus 10. At the same time, the temperature a little further west in the K-Town area was also 14. The wind speeds weren't quite as strong, so their wind chill index only calculated at minus 5. Now, here's what we expect for tomorrow then, and basically really not much change as far as the pattern goes. Again, those cloudy skies. We'll probably see an increasing chance of light snow, though, over parts of Central Europe. Another cool day, certainly. Daytime highs generally averaging in the teens, upper 20s, maybe lower 30s over towards the UK. Again, though, hopefully we'll see some relief in terms of this cooler weather as we head towards the weekend. So let's recap this and take one more look at tomorrow's forecast. And look for variable skies tomorrow throughout much of Central Europe and the UK with an increasing chance of snow in the forecast. Lows tonight ranging from the single digits to low 20s, with highs tomorrow still below freezing. And that's my forecast. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Rob. In financial news, the U.S. dollar traded lower against all major European currencies. The dollar lost a pfennig against the mark, putting tomorrow's military exchange rate at 1 mark 42. Ouch. Let's take a look at the rest.
Hi, I'm Sergeant First Class Wendell Sue from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'd like to say hi to my wife and family in Schwäbisch Gmünd, Germany. Hey, I'm doing fine.
I'm First Lieutenant Brian Johnson from Elf Company, 51st Signal Battalion, 93rd Signal Brigade. I'd like to say hello to my beautiful wife, Jane, and our friends Bob, Deb, Lori, and Guillermo.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Ken Sexton out of 7th Corps Artillery Station in Augsburg, Germany, down here in Saudi. I'd like to say hi to my wife, Bridget, my son, Mark, and Stephen, and my daughter, Renee, and all my family and friends still back in Augsburg. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Special Sergeant MacArthur, 204th MP Company, Kelly Barracks. I'd like to say hi to my wife. I love you, miss you, and hope I get some mail here pretty soon. Bye.
Hi, I'm Larry Sisson from 7th Corps in Saudi Arabia. Would like to say hello to my wife, Liana. I love you, I miss you, and I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself and the baby. Ciao.
Individual ready reserve soldiers who did not update their records when they moved to Europe from the United States or who moved within Europe must ensure that the Army Reserve Personnel Center has an up-to-date European address. Now, if you're an IRR soldier, you can update your records with your proper European address by calling the Army Reserve Personnel Center Liaison Office Europe at ETS 379-7578 or 7580. Or you can write to them at RPersen, LOE, APO 09081.
The Men's Continental Sports Conference basketball tournament starts tomorrow. The action gets underway in Bitburg. Specialist Jim Higgins profiles one of the top clubs.
The Hahn Hawks have had another good season in league play, finishing up with a 10-6 conference mark. Only Lindsay at 11-5, and the Bitburg Barons, undefeated at 16-0, can claim better records. Hawks head coach Floyd Bennett knows they're the teams to beat so far. And after finishing second at USAREUR and in the CSC behind Bitburg last year, he doesn't plan on letting that happen again this year.
I feel if you attack Bitburg, you have an edge. They are not accustomed to being pressured on defense. And I think if you have an offense that's going to pressure their defense, you're getting a step up. But you have no room to make a mistake. No doubt about that. I think that George Price has a very good group of players there, and he's getting the most from them.
While the Hawks are sharpening their skills for a rematch with Bitburg as they try to knock off the #1 in CSC, how about the other one in the top three, those Lindsay Flyers and head coach Ray Norman?
I don't think that there's a lot more for me to learn. We have similar styles of play, but he'll sometimes pull the unexpected on you. It's just a matter of being on guard for whatever he may pull. He's a very good coach, and I really enjoyed the game that we played with them. It's a matter of matching wits and watching the players perform as we direct them. But it's just a matter of being prepared for whatever he brings out of his bag of tricks, and he's very good at it.
We asked Ray Norman about his bag of tricks this year, and you can hear what he had to say as we preview the Flyers tomorrow night. With the CSC Championship preview, specialist Jim Higgins, AFN Sports.
Army Reserve dentists are taking up the slack left by their active duty counterparts here in Europe. For a unit that's been assigned to Frankfurt, it's nothing new to be deployed to a faraway place.
Although their assignment to Germany is hardly exotic, the Army Reserve dentists of the 919th Medical Detachment from Aurora, Colorado, have been seeing a lot of the world recently.
The recruiter said, sign up for the Army and see the world. Well, actually, that's happened with us. Lately, we've been sending dental teams and assistants to Jordan, Egypt, Yemen, and Kenya for 2-week annual training scenarios. In fact, we were supposed to send one to Kuwait, a dentist and 2 assistants, in October of this year. Of course, Saddam canceled that trip for us on the 2nd of August, so we would have been there.
Instead, they are at 9 different locations throughout Germany, and like most of the reservists who have been activated during Desert Storm, they have had to make a lot of changes in their personal lifestyle.
It's been a series of adjustments and changes, you know, very drastic in a very short time. But we're making the adjustments. It's been a strain financially, you know, due to the loss of income, but, you know, we're working through it, and I think everything's going to be okay as long as it doesn't last too long.
Of the 14 dentists, 13 of us, myself included, are in private practice. Private practice causes us a little concern because when we get through here and return to our homes, we don't know what we're going to have when we go back. We hope a viable small business and private practice that we left.
No matter where they go, be it Colorado, Kenya, or Germany, the dentists of the 919th are sure to leave behind a lot of satisfied customers. Reporting from Frankfurt, this is Doug Rule, TV5 for AFN News.
In military communities throughout Europe, many events have been canceled because of Operation Desert Storm. In Frankfurt, a military police unit was about to scrap plans for a dining out, but turned it around. Lee Ferguson reports.
At the Gibbs dining facility, a surf and turf meal had been planned for the 18th MP Brigade, but the soldiers were called to action before the dinner could take place.
The meal was planned to be given to the soldiers before they left as something like a hometown meal, steak and lobster, apple pie, yellow cake, and something like this before they left to go to Desert Storm. But then it was canceled because they moved out, and we decided to give it to the dependents.
A high point of the evening came when spouses heard directly from Saudi Arabia and were able to send greetings to their husbands through the military-affiliated radio system, better known as Mars.
I want all the soldiers over there to feel very comfortable and so that the dependents are being well taken care of. And I'd like to say, come home safe, and we're waiting for you. We're taking care of the home front. You take care of what you got to do over there.
This is Lee Ferguson, 5th Corps Public Affairs Office with TV5 for AFN News.
And that's our report. CNN Sports is next.
everybody. Welcome to CNN Sports. I'm Hannah Storr.
And I'm Dan Hicks. We'll begin in the NBA, where I guess Magic was telling the Clippers tonight, hey, remember me?